let's see what we got here for today. New paper. Okay. Um, Thank you again. Here's my .gg. I got SLKR 18 months ago. And then just bought the LSB and unlocked Ray. I'm at 610 for her ult. I was planning to do JML into Jabba next, but unsure what is the best route. Also, I am fairly comfortable and don't mind spending a bit of money here and there. On the vein, I was considering going for Leviathan, as I will have Fury class and Malgus in 6 months, and a few Proving Grounds refreshes. Also, some extra info after watching the review you put out today, well, really like a week ago, but currently only farming Mon Mothma for JML and Cal Kestis for my Ray team. I'm assuming that they mean Baby Cal, but I also have the ability to get into my fleet rotation. They tell me to get back in touch when I'm strong enough to be in the cycle. Okay, so that's always number one, is to see if people are in their fleet chat. It's good to know that they have touched base with them, and what this person essentially means is that a lot of these fleet chats do have some requirements, in that you have to be able to manually or on your own reach, the top 10 or the top 5 or whatever their requirement is. In the past, or like the negotiator meta, sometimes people would drop down their fleet or they'd lower their defense. But now, especially with Leviathan, where it's a lot tougher and there is a little bit more RNG involved, a lot of people do end up needing more battles, and it becomes a risk to do that. So we see, again, he's been seeing a lot of supporters of .gg lately, which is super cool. It was a long time that I did not. Galactic Power, 6.6. Let's just get a look at his guild, 440. Okay. Get a feel for their characters. So we just have the 2. All right. Now, they say that they got SLKR about 18 months ago. And it's kind of crazy to me how long in between GLs and just getting Ray, but that's fine. Let's see what we got here. Four-star Executor. What is in his shard, did he say? Okay. Just do some viability check on those assault battles. So Places of Power is obviously CT3, a little bit of a pain in the ass though with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, because you're gonna have to do it manually each month. Rebel Roundup, definitely a CT2 right here with this team. Bosk League, it may require a couple of refreshes. I know when I originally did it with Bounty Hunters before Jabba came out, hands down, I needed to spend about an hour with it, and it's worth it if you can get a 3-star and not have to deal with it again. I'm just gonna check Troopers just in case. Yeah, but I didn't think so. Empire. Okay, so Empire. Let's say Forest Moon. Let me just check the droids. Okay, so I'm going to put Forest Moon down as a CT1 with that Empire team. Again, there's some old tricks. I think it's Papa Palp lead, using Thrawn and Moff Gideon, or Moff Tarkin rather, and just kind of pumping his potency over and over and over again, and doing each round as slowly as possible, so that when you hit the 4th round, you can auto kill the boss. Maybe they're doing CT2, but that one's a little bit tougher. Night Sisters. Let's see, our Inquisitors. Okay. Jedi. We already have Jedi Knight Luke. Okay, Jedi Knight Luke gas. Revan, Kenobi, and Hermit Yoda. If you're doing that, let's see here. It looks like he's running Jedi Knight Luke as a leader right now. There's no speed, or there's a very limited speed. Throw him in as the leader for ground war. Give me a nice, really fast Hoda. Okay, so maybe just for ground war if you have not CT3'd it yet. Just kind of do a remod on the triangle and the diamond to get a little bit more speed, and you can probably end up doing CT3. If you are not, you are definitely at least doing CT2. And let's check those rebels out. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got CPO and Chewie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Military might, definitely doing CT2 with that team. I did CT2 before CPO even came out, when R2-D2 was my only relic, so I'm very confident in the CT2. I'm not 100% sure on the CT3. It's possible. It's definitely possible. I'm not going to say it's not. Let's see. Mon Mothma's almost there. And just because they said something, let's... Oh, Malgus is not a rebel. That's dumb. Okay, so we don't have Malgus yet, but we are looking. We'll have Fury class and Malgus in 6 months. Let's see what these look like. 6 months, we need TIE Dagger. TIE Dagger. Mark 6. Interceptor. Just check the TIE Dagger again. Is 4. Is 5. B. B28 is 5. Just want to go into game real quick. It's probably bad form to be doing things that you guys can't see, but I just want to double check something with this. Malix, Empire Trooper, Fury class, Mark 6, TIE Dagger, Scimitar, and Sith Fighter. So let's just check out a few of those things. Okay, so, okay. Sith Fighter is 3. I'm assuming Ebon Hawk is fine. Yeah. And we need Scimitar, right? Scimitar 7. Okay. So the Sith fleet is not in the greatest shape and is going to require some effort. The one piece of information that I think that I definitely do wish I knew is maybe a little bit more about the fleet composition of the top 20. You know, a 5-star Executor is a really, really solid ship, and you already have it at 4 stars. That 5-star, with the right investment, can take out, you know, a lot of profundities on offense, and it can take out Executors on offense, which could get you, you know, in some shards it could get you into the top 10, and in other shards it's not going to get you anywhere. So I kind of wish I knew that information, but I'm sure once I send this to you, you'll watch it, you'll get back to me, we'll refine the plan, which is the important part. Let's see what we got here. Obviously we have this guy. Oof, okay. 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 All right. Interesting. When we're talking about Java versus JML, I know there's different schools of thoughts, and I popped onto another stream of somebody yesterday, and it was really funny because I had recommended somebody Jedi Master Luke, and he was recommending Java to that same person, and I just happened to pop in when that person had said it in the chat, and I thought about not responding, but essentially what I said is that me and this other person, we play the game very differently, so it's best to take the advice that follows or aligns with your style of play a little bit more. I don't think that applies here. You're just so much closer to Jedi Master Luke. You've done pretty much all of the legwork. You're going to want to bring Chupio up anyway to Relic, so that's going to bring this down even further. Meanwhile, Jabba, you have basically the full farm left other than Jedi Knight Luke. I just want to check my marquees for that. Bosch. Okay, Bosch is done. Cursatan is done. Skiff is done. Now you have those marquees at 7 stars, so that's nice, and that gives us a back burner for, obviously because you have SK. That gives us a back burner for Java, and it's a farm I would consider, but not in the forefront right now. Oof. Stupid ads. All right, so here's the thing. I definitely agree with going for Leviathan, and there's a lot of ships that you're going to need to start slow farming, right? Sith Fighter, you need to start right now. If you start slow farming Sith Fighter right now, you probably aren't going to need to refresh it. B28, Sith Fighter, slow farm right now. TIE Dagger, slow farm right now. If you have the energy, slow farm the Mark 6 and the B28. They're a little above in what you have, so you don't necessarily need to start it right this second. But unless you want to start refreshing it in 3 months, which is also an option, start doing that on the sooner end, because if we're looking at Malgus and Fury Class Interceptor in about 6 months, then that means those farms will kind of tie in and start finishing right around the same time that you are getting Malgus, and he should be in Proving Grounds, not this conquest, not the next conquest, but the conquest after that. So we have, right now we're going to be going into February, so the conquest that happens in March, his ship should be in the Proving Grounds to kind of help you start getting that. I've talked about this a bunch on a lot of these videos. We're going to see a meta shift in like July and August. We don't know what that meta shift will be. I've heard some people say, hey, you know what, maybe it's not going to be a capital ship and it'll be Red 5 and it'll change the Rebels. Maybe, I have no idea. I have heard people talk about Trench. I think that's a little bit more plausible as we're starting to go back towards prequels, and with Trench releasing and now being in Proving Grounds and his ship sort of being alluded to when he first came out. I actually was surprised that Leviathan came out and that Trench's ship was not what came out at the time. And with Executor being a 4-star, moving into 5-star, I don't think it's going to be able to compete anymore. Right now, a 7-star Executor can compete. Okay, so I want to say bring that fucker to 7 stars, but that's a really heavy investment when you're going to have to switch over. I get it at least to 5. Get back to me with what your shard actually looks like, because even if you're getting into the top 10 of your shard, you're going to be making better crystals. And in fact, let's just take a look at that. Yeah, So even hitting into the 20s, or hitting into the 10s will be solid. And a 5-star executor has potential to do that based upon what your fleet arena looks like. So start working toward the Leviathan. Don't put too much credence towards anything other than slow farming the ships right now. Everything else, you can kind of build off on the future. I would definitely go hard into JML with, Chupio being kind of a priority for you, just with having the rest of the CLS team. That brings JML a lot more and a lot closer into focus than you already have him. And it doesn't make sense not to do him, especially as a 6.6 million account. I hope it's 6.6 million, or my age and memory is showing. Let's see. Okay, that was good. So especially being a 6.6 million account and doing hard conquest, JML is one of the strongest tools that you can have in your toolkit, and you're not very far from him. And that's going to help you have to not do proving grounds as much in the future, or have to invest less in proving grounds, because you'll be able to kind of increase those crates a little bit further, and have them be just a little bit more reliable. After you go for Jedi Master Luke, that is when I would say that Jabba is a really solid choice. You already have the 3 marquees at 7 stars. You already have Jedi Knight Luke. Smuggler's Run 2 is an amazing event. It will also give you, there goes my pen, it'll also give you Rebel Roundup CT3. So you get Smuggler's Run 2 out of it. You'll get Rebel Roundup CT3 out of it. You'll get a bonus mission, not a bonus mission, a featured mission in every phase of territory battles. And you also have a strong team for GAC and for territory wars. Profundity, I'm kind of torn. I think Profundity is a good option for later on, when it comes to starting to push into Kyber and needing more fleets for PvP. The more fleets you have, the better. I hate fleets, but I have everything, and I really try to push and invest towards that stuff as quickly as possible without overextending my crystals. But I think you have other priorities right now. Hey, Executor to 5 stars, get back to me on what you have fleet-wise in your Discord or in your game. Definitely Jedi Master Luke right now. Definitely Jabba after. And that should lead you into like the 4 to 6 month range, depending on your spending habits, where you're going to start needing to think about doing your Leviathan stuff and bringing, Malgus up to what he needs. Let's just check, because I didn't, bringing Darth Revan and Malik and all of those guys up to the required relic levels for the Leviathan. And I think that'll help you. Again, we don't know what the meta shift is going to be. So, I don't know if you'll be close to it or far away from it, or it'll be easy. Leviathan was relatively easy for veteran players, because a lot of the things that were required were things that veteran players already had, which is why it saw a really quick adoption rate. But I can't predict, and I can't say for certain what's coming up next. All I can say for certain is the patterns show that Leviathan will be able to beat it, even if it's a little bit iffy, and that'll keep you relevant. And based on your fleet shard, my shard, I was one of 2 or 3 Leviathans for like the first 3 months, so it gave me a really easy climb for those 3 months, and now it's just a pain in the ass. So once again, Executor to 5 stars, I really strongly consider that, depending on what your fleet shard is looking like. Jedi Master Luke is non-negotiable with where you are in the game. I would do Jabba after that. That should lead you right into your Leviathan. The one elephant in the room is going to be your Grand Inquisitor. You're in a 440 million guild. I can't imagine that they're not prioritizing Third Sister to some degree. And you're going to want, I guess it depends on the guild. Some guilds are not gonna require it. Some guilds are gonna, push it heavily but not yell at you if you're a contributor outside of it. But with 36 Grand Inquisitors, I don't know how many shards you're getting. If they're really pushing it, you're gonna have to fit that in somewhere. It sounds daunting, but Third Sister really does do crazy things for that squad. Third Sister does make a huge quality of life shift for territory battles. Third Sister does make the squad super reliable in conquest for certain feats, but just also for pushing. And I guess you'll have to kind of get back to me on whether or not that is a priority for the people that you are playing with. I know that your Inquisitors are not super great right now. But I will be honest, if they're not giving you a hard time, I would try to avoid it until after Leviathan. If they are heavily pushing it, I would try to do it right after Jedi Master Luke, because you're just so damn close to him. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, Discord, Reddit. Otherwise, have a great day.